The Ol Cowboy by David Smith. I passed an old vaquero in the street. He was having a hard pull on a cigarette. He looked at me as I drove by. I could see the cowboy in his eyes. His face was so wrinkled and brown. I knew that was from the California sun. His blue eyes sparkled in his face. I could see in them he'd seen a lot of space. The old cowboy has his memories. I could see some of them in his eyes. His younger days were full of adventure. He'd spent so many years in Mother Nature. Riding a horse before he could walk, sitting in a saddle before he could talk, pushing cattle on a Southern California rancho, riding on his trusty old caballo. He made his own ropes, they weren't store-bought. He'd learned as a child and never forgot. He was thin as a rail, although he didn't look frail. He'd grown old now, but he could still tell a tale. He'd wrestled down bulls for Brandon, broke wild horses for so many vaqueros. At one time and another he was a hero to every boy who attended a rodeo. His blue eyes gleamed and sparkled again, as I said Buenos dias to him. Maybe he was surprised to hear me speak Spanish. I said it to him on a whim. He still kept his hat very clean. I could see it was old but well taken care of. He wore old beat-up Levi's and cowboy boots. They were all part of his lifelong roots. The wildness of the land had changed, not necessarily for the better. He'd seen so many people crowding in, too many homes building higher. I looked at him in the mirror as I drove down the street. He was still looking at me, still smoking his cigarette. The old cowboy has his memories. I could see some of them in his eyes. His younger days were full of adventure. He'd spent so many years in Mother Nature.